Hello do-it-yourselfers, I'm Terry Peterman, the Internet Electrician. Welcome to another one of my video shorts on current topics. Let's get started. So in this video today, I'm just going to show you how to get some power over to a garden shed. Now this is your shed you might find at Lowe's, Home Depot, or in this case Costco. And one method I'm going to use here is to take power from an existing outside GFI protected outlet and just extend it over to the shed. In this one I did a few more things than we're going to do in the project across the road, where we're just getting one power outlet inside the shed for a convenience outlet for our neighbors to use. So we'll get started with that project, and then at the end I'm going to come back and just show you a little more of what can be done inside the shed. So within the plastic shed here, this is your standard issue Home Depot type of Costco shed, maybe from Rubbermaid. We're going to mount the box for the receptacle right here on this square. I think that'll look nice. Just using a red dot outlet box. And it's got all the various inlets for conduit. I'll just be coming out of the back of this one to the outside and plugging the rest off. So first thing in here is going to be to drill a hole right dead center of this connector piece. And so for the source of the power for the shed, we're going to take it from this outlet box here outside the home. We're going to extend that box using this ring. Then we'll be able to come out the bottom of it, and we're going to use liquid tight flex to go in around under the deck, through the gravel, and up to the shed location I'll show you on the outside. So this is the outside of the shed. I'm going to use this 90-degree flex connector to go right into the back of the box, like that, and then we'll just drop down with the liquid tight flex, as I said before, under the gravel, under the deck, and back up to our supply outlet. So let's get started. Of course, I shut the power off before I started because we're about to open up this box. Make sure that extension ring fits. So I'm ready to drill my hole out through the shed here. I want to at least do part of the hole this big, so that that hub, when screwed into the back of the box, the hub of the flex connector will fit flush, allow the box to fit flush against the wall. If I don't have to go all the way through, I won't, because that's too big a hole on the outside, because that's what's got to go through to the outside, not that big hub. So if I can go part way through, just to bury this, and then the rest I'll go with a smaller size hole saw, just to fit the flex connector, something like that. It was a bit of a fight, but we got that connector threaded onto the box and going out through the side of the shed. So I'll show you outside how that works. But the box is now mounted and ready for the receptacle installation. And also, just for good measure and to keep that box from turning at all, I'd pre-drilled the 4 holes for mounting screws in the back of that box, and I put in 4 metal screws or sheet metal screws into the plastic just to give it a little extra firmness, and that should make a fine job for when you're pulling plugs in and out of the receptacle. Of course, you don't want that pulling off the wall, not that it would, because outside you've got the 90-degree connector and the flex going straight down, but this just gives it some added strength. And here's where that comes through the shed on the outside. So I just need to get some light brown silicone and just patch that up nicely. But that's about as small a hole as I could get to fit this part of the connector out through So it was a bit tight to get that threaded onto the back of the box, but we persevered. Now the flex will go down into the gravel and under the deck over to the receptacle. So before I got too far along, I fished the wires into the flex, and I didn't realize it was going to be quite that tough to fish in that much wire through that length of flex. It was very stiff. So I have no fish tape right handy, so what I ended up doing is vacuuming in a 1/4 inch nylon rope. I just taped the flex to my vacuum, fed in that nylon rope till it was through to the other side. Then I taped my conductors on to the rope and pulled the rope through with the conductors. So I did that with the whole length of the flex. So I left myself enough wire out each end. Now we're ready to put on this receptacle. Of course, it doesn't have to be a GFI here because this whole circuit is fed on the downstream side of the outdoor receptacles. So all I had to get is an ordinary tamper-resistant duplex white receptacle. You can see back in there I've put my ground wire around that ground screw, left the tail long enough to go to the receptacle. Bend my loop. And I think if you've watched any of my other videos, I've explained what the hole is for on the T-stripper, but you just witnessed why they put that hole there on the T-stripper, to bend a nice loop. And as always, I work from ground to hot, so ground wire on first. Neutral second. I always turn in the unused screw terminal. Make sure they're tight. Again, put in the unused terminal. Actually should have bought a gray receptacle, would have been nicer in here because I've got a gray cover plate for it. You want to, with long device screws, you want to make sure that when you're turning these in, you didn't poke any of the wires right in behind that screw hole. I have had it where a device screw has dug its way right into a conductor as you're turning it in if you're not careful, especially with solid conductors because they don't move out of the way that easy. Gray finish plate. It's a nylon one, unbreakable. It's fighting back a little bit. I want to go in crooked. There we go. Line up your plate screw. And we're done inside. Now I just got to go tie it into the outdoor receptacle. So I've got the extension rings in place here, and now I've got the flex tied in, ready to make my splices and put the receptacle back together. Alright, so there's the receptacle put back together. You see the flex running down the wall and underneath the deck, coming back over up at the shed, which we showed you earlier. Now we just got to go turn the power on, check everything out with my plug tester, and we will do some sealing up of the holes with some outdoor sealant. Okay, here's the outlet reconnected, the main outlet that we fed the shed from.
A little bit bright out here, but you can see the two lights on the right showing correct wiring. We'll check the one on the shed, and then we'll push the GFI test button to make sure that we're all on the GFI circuit for the outside plugins. And here's the receptacle in the shed. You can see again the two outside orange lights on, indicating that it's correctly wired. Push the test button and the GFI works. So now I'll have them reset the breaker and the job is done.
So all that was required in this example was to get an outlet into the shed, a convenience receptacle. But once you've got power to the shed, in mine here, I'm going to show you, if you'll notice the conduit, I've got EMT conduit that's coming into the box, that double gang box. We've got a receptacle on the right and a motion switch on the left. That EMT conduit coming in from the right, well, in my shed here, I ran the power in the same way from an outside receptacle down under my deck and back up to the shed. And on the outside wall of the shed, I put another weatherproof receptacle that powers up my propane powered hot tub. So I put another weatherproof in-use receptacle cover on that. Then I came out of the back of that box through the shed with some EMT, as you see here, coming into the box on the right hand side. Then I exited the box, and I will show you the rest of what I've done here. That's a motion switch, so as soon as I open my shed door, the light comes on. So I'll show you what I did with the EMT from here on. EMT is a good way to go inside these plastic sheds because it's solid, and it actually helps make the shed construction more solid because you've got conduit, solid EMT pipe that helps hold things together. But I'll show you what I did with the lighting in this shed. Okay, so I exited the box with EMT, come out of the top of that 2-gang box, made a 90-degree bend. Then I went up the middle rib of the shed, and then I used a 1-tube LED fluorescent tube here. I'm going to get a better shot of that. Up to the ceiling, there's a center truss here, and that's where I attached my single tube fluorescent LED tube with an EMT connector. And then out of that fixture, I made a quick offset bend here again, down the rib of the ceiling truss, I guess you'd call it. Then I made another 90-degree bend and into a receptacle here. Thank you for watching. I hope that you learned something useful from this video. My goal is to help you out with your small home electrical projects or minor repairs, and to help you complete them both safely and competently. Please feel free to like, comment, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel here. And for more helpful information, visit my website at electrical-online.com. And if you'd like to learn more about home electrical, my program, The Basics of Household Wiring, is simply the best electrical educational information you will find. And it's available as a DVD or an instant download. I also use this information as the core material for my best-selling course at udemy.com called Learn the Basics of Household Wiring, the Electrical System A to Z. And of course, you can find me on Facebook and Twitter. But what if you need help with something right away? I'm one of the experts on the Magnify app. That's Magnify with an I. You download the app and search for the Internet Electrician from your smartphone. You can get instant assistance. And I'm also a certified expert on the JustAnswer.com team. There are links below in the description here to everything that I've told you about. So until next time, thanks for watching. I'm Terry Peterman, the Internet Electrician.